Ready?
I am ready.
Oh, gosh.
On this day, as you begin your journey as husband and wife, take note of what God's Word says about beginnings. In Genesis 2, we see this beautiful picture of God the Father walking his daughter down the aisle and presenting her to Adam as a gift. Now, God didn't have to create Eve. He didn't have to create a helper for Adam, but in his grace, God saw that it was not good for the man to be alone. And so God, in his marvelous grace, created Eve. God presented Eve to Adam, who joyously received this precious gift from God, because God delights in giving good gifts. God created Eve not from the dust of the ground like he did with Adam, but he created Eve from the very essence of Adam. Eve is created from Adam's side, not to be a pain in his side ever after, mind you, but to complement and to complete Adam. In light of God's Word that we've read this day, here is God's message for the two of you as you begin this journey as husband and wife. Always view your relationship and each other as God's gift. Now, I'll admit there will be some days you might question that. There'll be some times when your first thought won't be, this is God's precious and perfect gift to me. And you'll be tempted at times to take the other person and this relationship for granted. But never, ever lose sight of this truth that God has given you each other as a gift from his good and gracious hand. And so thank God daily for his wonderful gifts to you.
Oftentimes, when someone is given the honor to stand next to a friend on their wedding day, they've known either the bride or groom for a longer amount of time. I actually met Cody and Abby at the same time, new teacher orientation. We got to know each other over Panera Bagels, house hunting on Zillow, and preparing to start our new jobs together. Abby and I became fast friends, teaching 4th grade. You could find us on pretty much any day of the week, having an after-school happy hour, shopping at boutiques for house decor or the latest fashion. Cody worked down the hall from us and was best known in those early days for very large cups of coffee, fantastic book recommendations, and a loud "Fire up, Eagles!" down the hallway in the morning. It didn't take long for Cody and Abby to recognize how many things they had in common. They began to appreciate each other's best qualities. Cody is dedicated, honest, and funny. He recognizes what is important and is willing to do the work to make it great. Abby compliments Cody with her determination, creativity, and thoughtfulness. When faced with an obstacle, she does not look for a shortcut. She makes a plan, usually on a Post-it note with a Flair pen, and works hard to achieve her goals. As a couple in these early years of your relationship, I have watched you support one another through the loss of family members, celebrate the excitement of a new puppy, navigate the stress of building your first home, and most probably the most memorable, plan this beautiful wedding during a pandemic.
Cody, he's one of the best guys I know. Very honored to call him my best friend. Spent a lot of late nights talking about life, and man, I miss those nights. Cody's got a big heart. He puts his heart and soul into anything he does. He loves his family, he loves his friends, and that's shown in his actions every day. You know, when he started talking to Abby, I wasn't living in Kansas City, I was living in Indianapolis at the time. And I came to KC for New Year's. I was pretty pumped to see Cody, hadn't seen him in like 6 months. I was like, Cody, we're hanging on New Year's, right? He's like, no. I was like, okay, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm getting dinner with Abby, the girl I was telling you about. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, is it a date? And he's like, well, I don't know. You know, us 20-somethings, we can't like commit to anything until we know for sure they like us or not. I later got to meet Abby, and she's perfect for you, man. Like Abby, you're amazing. Like, you can handle Cody's serial killer traits with no problem. Like, I'm gonna really miss, the times we had, but I'm really excited for what you guys have in the future ahead of you. So with that, toast to Cody and Abby. Cheers.